welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Gobi, and this is Basking Broodscale combo. Broodscale combo is a Pauper deck. It is top 3, top 5. I think it spent some time at number 1. Like, it's a really good Pauper deck where the combo is Basking Broodscale. It has Adapt 1 for 1 and a green, which is pay that cost, put 1/+1 counter on it if it doesn't have a +1 counter on it already. Whenever 1 or more +1 counters are put on this, you make a 0/1 spawn that can sack for colorless mana. The combo in Pauper is Sadistic Glee, an enchantment from Tempest that whenever a creature dies, put a +1 counter on enchanted creature. So you put 1 counter on this, you get a spawn, that sacks for mana, puts a +1 counter on the Broodscale, you get another spawn, you get an infinitely large Broodscale and infinite colorless mana out of that loop. Sadistic Glee is not legal in Modern, it was just never printed in a Modern legal set. But we have something better, Blade of the Bloodchief. This is the same thing, except instead of an enchantment, it's an equipment, so it's already more stable. And it can poop out of Urza Saga, which makes everything better in 4 bets where Urza Saga is legal. Whenever a creature dies, put a +1 counter on an equipped creature. If equipped creature is a vampire, put 2 counters on it instead. We don't have any vampires, but it doesn't matter. If this is happening, it's probably infinite. And the rest of the deck is a bunch of powerful permanents that generate value while digging for the combo. We've got, obviously, the One Ring, because it's a Modern event, and this card is ubiquitous, over 50% penetration at this point. But we are a deck that is pretty good at having 4 mana on turn 3. We have Utopia, Sprawl, Malevolent Rumble. That's 8 ways to ramp to 4 mana. Karn can get the One Ring, or it can get a Blade of the Bloodchief, or it could get a Walking Ballista, which lets you win without combat once you have infinite mana off of the combo, if you're locked behind an ensnaring bridge or they just have a bunch of blockers or something. And of course, it has coding and ensnaring bridge and the normal card stuff in there as well. Rumble is proving itself to be a Modern staple among decks that are looking for permanents, basically. This is showing up in a lot of places. You see a lot of cards. The cards you don't take end up in the graveyard where they're useful for something like Shifting Woodland, and the spawn token this makes can jumpstart your combo, or just be ramp into a 4-drop. Fable the Mirror Breaker, clearly just moving cards around and providing value. And that's what's going on here. Like, it's pretty simple. A little bit of Karnza style ramp up to a Karn with the Utopia Sprawls and stuff. A little bit of combo. A lot of One Ring and Fable. And that's the whole deck. We're just trying to get A plus B assembled. Let's do it. This is Gobi's Broodscale combo.
Building a new deck is one of the best feelings in TCG gaming. Sleeving it up, laying it out, thinking about the new strategy and all the cool new cards you get to try, but you're still a few cards short of getting to play with it. You log into the usual TCG online marketplace only to realize shipping will cost more than the cards. Put an end to that with Card Trader Zero from cardtrader.com. Card Trader functions as your personal P.O. box, collecting orders from sellers all around the world and shipping you one affordable package. Shop their worldwide marketplace and save on shipping at cardtrader.com and use code BoshNRoll for 5% off your first order.
I'm on the play for round 1. I have a rampy hand that digs a lot. I'm going to keep it. So turn 2, Fable the Mirror Breaker, or 6. I imagine Fable is better than 6 to have in play for longer. I'll prioritize that one. I'm going to Sprawl for red here, because this looks like Ponza. This looks like I'm going to Blood Moon or Stone Rain them on turn 2. Which might affect how they fetch. We have Bloodstained Mire. If we see Basic Swamp here instead of Blood Crypt, yeah, they didn't fall for it, didn't care. But I at least had the option. Oh, we're playing as Hollow One. This is fun. I haven't seen this deck in the wild since it started making its resurgence, but it is kind of back. My opponent's deck is going to be trying to draw and discard a lot of cards in the same turn, and then cast Hollow One and trigger Vengevine and do a bunch of crazy mess like that. The Fable the Mirror Breaker is good at keeping my hand solid. 6 is pretty good at that too. Both of these permanents would have been fine to play here. Flame Blade Adept has Menace, so I don't need to do anything crazy there. The 2/2 versus the 2/4 doesn't matter. Whenever they discard a card, it gets +1/+0. That's what that card does. I drew another Rumble. They might Bowmaster here. Okay. They should ping my Goblin Shaman, is the correct way to do this. Okay, they went face. That means I could still loot one thing without losing my Goblin. Do I want to do that? Probably not, though. My hand is just all selection anyway. I'll just keep these. I could attack with Shaman, and if they want to double block, that's fine. I'm going to do that. I am a one-ring deck, and if they want to trade off Bowmaster, that's fine. But the reason you want to ping the Goblin Shaman if you have Bowmaster versus an active Fable is if they put 1 damage on the Shaman, then I can't loot even one card without losing this. And if I want to attack, they could trade it just for Orc Army rather than the Bowmaster. So I'm at 17 instead of 18, but I do have a treasure that I wouldn't have if they had pinged here. And we'll see as the game develops whether this treasure is more important than 1 life. I don't know yet, is the truth. I'm going to Rumble. There's a Broodscale and a Karn. I think I'd rather have Broodscale. That's how we get the party going. And I'm also going to play, and I could play and evolve, adapt, whatever this is, the Broodscale. I don't think I want to do that, though. I think I want to play 6. I could actually Rumble again and still play 6. Is the double Rumble good? It probably is. I'll get a Mountain here. Yeah, I'm going to Rumble again. If I could just find the sword, then we're gaming. All right, there's the sword. Cool. I'm a little short of executing my whole combo this turn, but I can put Big 60 into play and threaten to have an infinitely large creature next turn. Though, if Bowmaster is very good with Burning Inquiry, Goblin Lore. Okay, that only affects them. Burning Inquiry is both players draw and discard 3 cards at random, which Bowmaster would have popped off with. The Goblin Lore discarded Detective Phoenix, Tarfire, and FOMO. And they did not follow up with a hollow one. Cool. Pretty mid, all things considered. And I can cast Broodscale, equip it, or play this. With the Shaman token, I can go all the way, I think, here. Broodscale, Blade, equip Blade, and when 6 attacks, mill 3, and I can put a land from among those into my hand. Does it matter if I go off in combat? I don't think so. I'm just going to attack before they know I have a land to play. I get a treasure. There's a Saga to the grip. That wins the game. I just needed to hit any land there, because now I can retrace Karn and get Blocking Ballista and win. Okay. Saga. Adapt this. They have to kill it at instant speed somehow. All right, yeah, sweet. Cool. That's how that all comes together. Opponent, pretty anemic start, honestly. Just didn't really do the thing. I have these Whip Flares in the sideboard. Why is Whip Flare in here over Pyroclasm? And Basking Broodscale is devoid, but it's not an artifact. We have some Haywire Mites that are not affected by Whip Flare. I feel like you want to probably just cover your bases. And I'm a Saga deck too. If my constructs are 2/2s, I guess they can survive. Weirdly enough, this does look like a Whip Flare matchup. It would have been a Pyroclasm matchup too. Any sweeper I probably would have played here. I am going to leave the Karn board intact. Really the only card in the Karn board that there's multiple copies of that boarding in makes sense is Graveyard Hate or a Haywire Mite. And I don't need either of those things in this matchup. Probably going to cut the Haywire Mite that's already in there. Seed of Hope is like a weird ponder. You mill 2 and you could put a permanent from among the milled cards into your hand and gain 2 life. A weird ponder is still a ponder. But the more non-permanents you board into your deck, the worse Seed of Hope gets. That's why the deck is mostly permanents. I think I can live without Seed of Hope. There's one still in the deck, but bringing in a bunch of non-permanents makes it slightly worse. Okay, I'll try this. Not super interactive, does ramp to a Karn. I'll try it. We might get run over on the draw, but I'm not going to mulligan a functional hand like this. Cycling Street Wraith. That's 2 discards this turn already. Hollow One is almost live. Oh, yeah, let's go. Start at 14 to get a Hollow One. That's cool if that's what's happening. Is this also a Death Shadow deck? Nethergoyf. Okay. This tap land showing up a little wonky, but I don't think it changes my play. I'm just going to get a forest and play Blade. I suspect they wanted to do better than Nethergoyf after cycling 3 street rates. They've got a Thoughtseize, but I have 2 payoffs and 2 digs. It's hard to break up everything I'm doing with a single interactive spell. Goyf's a 3/4, opponent's at 9 life. It took Rumble, fascinating. Whip Flare does not defeat this thing. I think I'd rather just lock in 6 for turn 3 than try to cash grab and be priced into taking a land. This is free if I draw it. Like, I can play it on an untapped land. It's just free ramp at the cost of my draw step. I think I do want to keep this card. Tarfire in the end step. 5/6. The old Kindred instant trick with a Tarmogoyf. Classic Magic gaming. I could get just coast to coasted by this Nethergoyf, especially if they have fear of missing out right now. Yeah, they didn't. That's good news. Basic Forest, Sprawl, the untapped Basic Forest. Name red. Big 6. I am dead to Lightning Bolt here. And they have 4 cards in hand. It didn't play a card last turn. I don't feel good about this game. Sudden Edict. All right. Suddenly. Trigger, trigger, trigger. If that was equipped to anything, it would get bigger. Yeah, the sword doesn't carry the counters on it. There are some equipment that do things like that, but this actually has to be on a creature and it affects the creature directly. The blade doesn't pick up the +1s. Nethergoyf number 2. If we could give this haste, oh yeah. Bestowed Detective's Phoenix. This gives it +2/+2 flying haste. Yeah, that was sick. Obliterated. Okay, my Graveyard Hate might be more important than I thought it was. I can bring in Soul Guide Lantern, leave Tormod's Crypt in the board because that's the more efficient one. Haywire Might can exile a Bestowed Phoenix, but I don't think that's an interaction I care about. Whip Flare was really bad versus Nethergoyf. It would have been good versus their board full of smaller creatures game 1. I'm not going to move off of it, but I am aware that they have some creatures that will shrug it off at this point. They just lose the last seed of hope. Probably. Let's go. Ouch. Basic Mountain in an otherwise excellent hand. Gonna have to mulligan this one. Oh no. The mana. Does this deck have bad mana? 23 lands. 5 of them don't produce green. Yeah, this is just a run bad. When I play a new deck, if I draw just hands that are non-functional, I do want to check if it's a deck issue. If it's just RNG, that's Magic, that happens. But you do want to at least make sure the deck has a chance of being functional. Okay, I'll keep this one and bottom Commercial District and probably Verdant Catacombs. All right, it's ugly, but it works. Name red with this, and off we go. Opponent's got 7 cards, showing off. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? This would be a terrible time to get Thoughtseized. Oh, Burning Inquiry. That's crazy. I did lose my second land. Can we draw one? All right. They discarded their hollow one. You love to see it. And I do have an engine online now. Close call there. They've got some kind of 2-drop. We know they have Sudden Edict in their deck that can kill an X4. Flameblade Adept. And Nethergoyf arriving as a 6/7. Holy smokes. Yeah, Hollow One's an artifact. There is a Kindred in there as well. Wowie zowie. Okay, I just basically have to delete 6 here to try to hit a land and get the One Ring going. Let's pitch this into the void. Please hit a land. All right, we did it. And not only did we hit the land, but we have a plan now. The Saga right now can play the One Ring, which buys me a turn and digs. And if the Saga pops out a sword, that is something we can convert into a win with Karn for Ballista. Okay. This game is crazy, but these were a good sequence of turns and draws. They've got the FOMO. When this attacks, if you have Delirium, you can untap a creature, can attack again. This doesn't have haste. I'm also under the ring currently. A Saga ticks up. I'm going to draw with the ring first. Oh. 1/2 for this, 1 for this, 1 to equip. They would have to interact at instant speed to not be dead here. A Broodscale. Oh, wait, I'm 1 short. Fuck. Am I dead? Did I mess up? Yeah, I'm 1 short. If I make the spawn first, I can equip the blade, but a creature would have to die for this to matter. I got so excited, I thought we had it. Blade, equip. Yeah, I might just die here. Good chance. Bummer. Yeah, if I had just played Karn, gotten Tormod's Crypt, wiped out Delirium and Nethergoyf, that's the safer play. My bad. Anyone who's played the deck more than one game would have counted there. Let's actually lock in. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 6 mana to go off. Goblin Lore. This will make the Flame Blade large. Yeah, I think I was supposed to not equip here. Once I make the mistake, I'm supposed to just commit to it and have 2 blockers. Phoenix onto the Goyf. This is just 18 in the air. Okay, this doesn't have Secret Eldrazi Reach, does it? Nope. Okay, I messed that one up. I just miscounted. Getting Karn, grabbing Tormod's Crypt. That clears the Phoenixes, makes Nethergoyf 0. They lose Delirium for FOMO. I still take a big hit, and maybe the Goblin Lore re-gets Delirium, but it wouldn't be this hard. My bad. On to the next round. We've learned something.
This video is partnered with Gold Sabertooth's Commander Pantheon collection. This Kickstarter project features exclusive art on playmats, shirts, and stickers from a staple of the Magic and CEDH community. Printed on premium quality materials, these products are built to last so you can rep your favorite commander for years to come. Backing this Kickstarter gives you access to limited edition products and helps reach stretch goals for even more cool designs. Support this community artist by using the link in the video description or searching Gold Sabertooth on Kickstarter.com.
I'm on the play in round 2, and it's a Jeggy Mirror. It's more likely that they are energy than that it is the mirror match. My plan here is to fetch the commercial district and then rumble and kind of roll out slow and steady. A Sacred Foundry. Who could have predicted this? Ragavan is powerful. Karn the Great Creator. Do I want this in my hand or in the graveyard? I'll put it in my hand. That's fine. I'm doing big stuff here. I'm going to fetch a basic forest and cast Rumble. Broodscale, Saga. How do I want to play this? I think I want Broodscale, and I'll pass the turn. I'm not going to block Ragavan if I get the option. Just let it hit. These things happen. Though I guess I am rolling out a series of 3 drops, though the extra mana could represent a win. All right, yeah, I'm just going to let Ragavan hit me. My cards are not that good for their deck in general. They flipped a 6, which they can cast. That's pretty funny. Do you want a 6? Does that help your deck? Hubba hubba. Oh yeah. The mirror match. It was the mirror. Drew a Saga. We're moving towards the combo, and they've seen the Broodscale, so they know this is here. Does Karn do anything useful here? Not really. Okay. Saga. Would I rather play a 2/4 and make them have removal, which they do play, or play the Fable, which is the 2/1 that represents the most mana? I think I want more mana. Like I said, it costs 6 mana to go off, and I'm currently representing that next turn. If I could just stay the course, not freak out. Flage, I'm freaking out. That's going to kill my Gobbo. 6 attacks, Milled, Marsh Flats, and Arena of Glory as options to recur. That also means they can play the One Ring out of their graveyard next turn. I'm going to take 4. I still have faith in this spawn. They flipped a Rumble, which we know they could cast because they just picked a land up. Oscillate Pride. You've not gained life this turn. Oh wait, yeah, you played Flage. Never mind. Good job. Good synergy. Just good deck building. The One Ring, speaking of good deck building. I want to loot away at least some of these cards. I don't think there's going to be time for another Fable this game. That's probably... I'm just going to chuck that one and keep the rest of these. 6 is redundancy for Karn. Karn is my win con. Yeah, I'm just going to go 1. Just the Fable. Drew another Karn. Speaking of Karn redundancy. Okay, I'll do my favorite thing here, which is cast the One Ring in Modern. Okay, passing the turn. I am representing Infinite next turn, but if they play the One Ring out of the graveyard, I guess I just pass with Walking Ballista on a Zillion, and they have to answer it at instant speed while tapped out. That came from their hand, okay. Good information. I think they're dead. What can they do here? This deck doesn't play Solitude. They can still mill 3 and pick up Sunbaked Canyon or Elegant Parlor. That's allowed. I go to 11. Draw a card. Float a colorless. Tutor my sword and then win. Blade. Saga flips. I'll draw some cards here. Couldn't hurt. Broodscale. Equip. Already have a thing to jumpstart this. I'm going to respond to the trigger by adapting it again. This gives me another homie. Okay, off we go. Infinite mana, card in my hand. Always yield. Always yes. They said they'll concede to Ballista. Well, that makes sense because you are dead to that. Okay, here's Karn. Okay, cool. We did it. Well, that's fun. Going over the top of Boros Energy is an important thing to do. Here is Whip Flare. Coming in again. This is a One Ring matchup and a Blood Moon matchup. I don't know if they're going to try to moon me. I have a bunch of basics and Utopia Sprawls and Fable and 6. I am a Saga deck where Blood Mooning me might be reasonable. I'm not going to bring in an answer just for Blood Moon. But if they do Blood Moon me, it just cuts off one of my angles. I think I'm okay with that. Whip Flare's coming in for sure. These Seeds of Hope can come out. I'm going to cut these basically every time because they're the least. They're the worst dig spell, and they're the thing that's not part of the combo. It's just sort of a generic hole filler in the main deck that can easily become any sideboard card if you wanted to. Some decks just have stuff like that in them, and it's okay to go to the same place every time when you're sideboarding. Do I want a second Haywire Might in is the other question. I'll leave one for Karn. I'm not going to board out the one that's in the main, but do I want two? My cuts at this point are Cash Grab. I probably don't want to cut a 6. Yeah, I'll just bring in the Whip Flares over the Seeds of Hope and see if any information changes and if we need a game 3. Oh, wonky hand. I don't think I could keep this. I love keeping 7, and Urza Saga does make it kind of a tiebreaker. Like, if I play Saga on 1, Grab on 2, Grab finds Broodscale. On 3, I could tutor out the weapon with a colorless floating. Still short. Yeah, this is a mulligan. I want to at least talk it out when I have a hand that is almost certainly a mulligan, because sometimes you could talk yourself into it in a way that's reasonable. And I don't mean rationalizing or justifying bad hands, but what is the actual upside? What is the downside? The math of the cards left in your deck. That's all worth doing. Here's another double Saga hand. That stinks. Okay, here we go. Found a keeper. I'm going to bottom, I think, Verdant Catacombs and Fable. This lets me keep my turn 2 Fable and as many action spells as I can. This would get broken up by something like Static Prison on my Utopia Sprawl. The opponent's on 6 and they do have the Rag. Okay. Nice finding half my combo right away. I'm actually going to name green with this Sprawl just to pad out against potential Blood Moon, because they can turn to it here. And I just want to make sure I don't care about that, because my deck can be played in a way that it doesn't care about that. They took a Verdant Catacombs off the Rag hit, mostly a fade there. Arena. Kind of hope they do Blood Moon. That would hurt them more than me at this point. Yeah, all right. I doubt it's even in. All right, Galvanic Discharge. They could discharge their own creature to go +2 energy. That's what they did. And they still got mana to spend. Ocelot Pride. They've not gained life. For real this time. Okay, I need a red source to cast my Fable. Having land number 4 is nice. Static Prison. Taking my Gobbler. That's another energy ritual, because there's a token under there. You just don't have to pay for that. You got 6 energy, 3 mana, 1 card in hand. They can buy Jeggy here at minimum, or play out another Ocelot Pride. Okay, so they are deeply in right now. Where's one of those Whip Flares? Whip Flare off the top. Broodscale. Is that better? Okay, am I dead? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm exactly dead. I have the whole combo here, and Basking Broodscale can block. I could just YOLO this. If they draw a removal spell or a creature that can give haste, I lose. That's not even necessarily true, because they can generate a blocker at instant speed as well. I am simply not going to use Fable's ability. Okay, Basking Broodscale. has the ability to block 2 things if it needs to, and I'm just hoping to fade. Just hope they draw a land for turn. Even them drawing 1 ring is fine. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Them drawing a land is not fine because they get Jeggy. I didn't see all these treasures under the Jeggy. Or they could just draw the best card in their entire deck. All right, yeah, cool, GG. I think I played that correctly. I just needed to fade a draw and didn't. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. I did forget about that one when I was talking about Haywire Might earlier. Is that useful? Is answering Bombardment on the super slow something I can do? Because if Haywire Might's just sitting in play, they just save the Bombardment till it's lethal. Did they have a Flage in their graveyard that game? I think that was game 1. Just trying to think if my play made sense. The only other thing I could have done was loot 2 cards aggressively looking for Whip Flare and try to stabilize. I think presenting the combo and making them rip out of it is better. All right, I'm going to trade a grab for a Might. Might can also trade with early Ragavans in a way that I'm happy with. Whip Flare in the opener. I like this start. Keep Basic Forest, Haywire Might is my open. I guess the Whip Flare makes sense right now. Apologies to Gobi. I can Whip Flare all their shit and keep my Might. Guide of Souls. Okay. Urza Saga. That's a good one. Urza Saga Cash Grab. Another Saga and a Sprawl. I don't really need another Saga. I don't really need a Sprawl either. I'm going to grab Stomping Ground. Though Sprawl ramps better. I'm actually going to take the Sprawl. They both represent 1 mana, but Utopia Sprawl represents it immediately. I guess I reap the rewards on the same turn overall. Because the Sprawl costs 1 to get in, like pays for itself this turn, and it is an extra mana next turn, where a land is the same thing. I'm not sure how much that decision mattered. What I would love here is if they amped Raptor into like a Ragavan or an Ocelot Pride. Okay, just Ragavan, actually. And Ocelot Pride, let's go. Okay, this is going to be an insane Whip Flare. I'm going to whip the shit out of their Flare. Or flare the shit out of their Whip. What are we talking about here? I don't know. Nobody knows. Okay, they get a friend, get 1 energy, but no current outlet for that energy. Saga ticks up. Are there 2 Stomping Grounds in the deck? Yes, there are. Okay, good. Fetch this Wooded Foothills, get Stomping Ground, take the pain, Utopia Sprawl onto this forest. I'm going to name Red. I'm going to whip the shit out of these flares. Ciao. And might as well invest the Blade. And I'm not going to chip for 1 because their deck does have Ragavan in it, and I'm going to go infinite if I win. So that doesn't matter. I'm glad the Whip Flare came up like that, leaving my creature behind and killing all theirs, because it's just good content when I ask about something and then it immediately happens. Love to see it. Okay, they're killing my Haywire Might. Blade triggers twice. It just doesn't do anything. I gain 2. And let's see what happens here. Okay. I think it is more valuable for me to play Fable and Mirror Breaker than to make a Construct token. I'm going to tutor a backup Haywire Might. Can I win here if I rumble into the homie? Maybe. I could definitely... Okay, there's Broodscale. Is this enough? I can cast it, equip, then start sacking. Yeah, because I have the preloaded spawn. A forest, Broodscale, equip. I could just make an infinitely large creature with infinite mana right now. Just going to make this really big. Unfortunately, don't have the win. Just 1 card short, don't have the Karn. I'll just make an 8/8 and pass. They do have exile-based removal in their deck. Elegant Parlor. But Haywire might kill Static Prison, then I'm back in the combo zone. Okay, maybe the Haywire might... Yeah, there's a lot more enchantments than I originally gave it credit for. I shouted out One Ring and Blood Moon, but Bombardment and Prison matter as well. Okay, that's temporarily over there. Attacking here is close to free, but I also just don't think that's what the game's about. Okay, equip. Start sacking. Off we go. This one does cast 2 spells this turn. This infinite mana. Is there a Karn in my graveyard? Do I win? Oh no, I need a land. Okay. Not quite. Okay, red and green off of this. Fable. 6. And might as well buy Jeggy. Okay. I have infinite damage in combat represented. 6 represents Karn if I have a land anywhere. Exercise. Creature with power 4 or greater. Could have played around this, I guess. Okay, that's gone. This is a cool card from Duskmourn. Yeah, that's gone. No sense in making it larger in response. They got one card left in hand. Is it good, or are we getting jeggy here? Okay. Elk fight confirmed. I think what I want to do here is first check my graveyard for retrace options. There is a Karn in here. Does that do anything? I think I'm going to just discard both of these cards looking for a Broodscale. Utopia Sprawl, land. The land is still fine. What does Karn do? Karn gets Coding. Karn gets Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt's actually pretty good here. I'm going to attack first. I might still actually win this turn. Because 6 gets to mill, and if there's a Broodscale among it, then the game is actually not quite over. I would have needed Broodscale and land out of that. Okay, second main. I'm definitely doing something out of the graveyard. How worried am I about Flage? Jeggy in hand and one unknown, and Flage in the graveyard. Flage kills Karn. I could just play another Fable and get more card selection next turn. So primarily what I'm trying to do here is find the Broodscale and win. Karn eventually represents the One Ring, though. And it turns off their ring. Okay, I like cutting off One Ring as an out for them. I'm gonna get Tormod's Crypt. I don't want to sack my treasure for Soul Guide Lantern. Or do I? Yes, I do. Okay. This is fine. Soul Guide Lantern. Sack my treasure. Because this takes out the Flage, which is the only card in the graveyard I'm worried about, and draws a card. Yeah, that's slightly better. This game is really fun. We've gotten to a point where it's actually interesting. We're going back and forth with low resources. Both Jeckies have been involved. And that's what gameplay can look like if nobody has a One Ring. Another Sprawl. Don't love it. Can Karn deal with this Jeggy somehow? Or I could just get my One Ring and break my own rule. That's certainly correct. Okay. -2. Grab a ring. Draw with the ring. Shifting Woodland. Sprawl. I lose 6 if I attack. I don't think I want to engage in that game. I'm just going to pass. Elegant Parlor. One thing I like about this combo, which I notice as my clock drifts into the 8-minute range, is that it's really fast to execute on Magic Online. This is not like a Bomberman or an Urza combo that it actually takes 12 minutes to finish your loop. They milled away a Galvanic Discharge. They're attacking Karn. I'm going to block with Eldrazi Spawn. I think that's the worst creature that I have. They go to 17 for my ring. Whip Flare, not helpful. Broodscale, extremely good. However, Karn is at 1 loyalty at this point, which means I would need another Karn in the graveyard, or I would need to kill my Karn somehow and buy it back with 6. I'm just going to start with combat. Attack with these. I'm leaving Reflection back because that's insulation versus removal. There's not a sword in my graveyard. I couldn't have gone double infinite here. Okay, Broodscale, get in there. I'm going to play another Utopia Sprawl. Might as well invest it. Equip the blade. Level up. Start doing stuff. Trying to figure out if I can deal 1 loyalty damage to my Karn somehow. I don't have a land to retrace with anyway, so that doesn't matter. I can turn Shifting Woodland into something. Is there something in my graveyard that matters? Fable, Haywire Might, Urza Saga, no. Okay. Might as well draw a card. See if I could get there here. Karn? Urza Saga, alright. So I plus Karn on nothing. Oh, Urza Saga does matter, because that's a retrace I have access to now. I could replay Soul Guide Lantern, draw another card. I could replay Fable. Yeah, I'm going to play a Fable from the graveyard. This gives me more stuff to do. And I have a treasure. I could replay 6. That doesn't do anything. Okay, gonna pass. Hope I didn't miss lethal somehow. There's a lot going on. I'm at 17. Their One Rings are turned off. I can block Gigantha infinitely. Or just eat it. They are dead next turn. Okay, cool. GG's. That was a lot of fun. The Whip Flare was clutch, just taking out their first 3 permanents and leaving none of mine. Honestly, Pyroclasm killing my Haywire Might wouldn't have really changed the game there, but the Whip Flare, just that little extra sauce. On to the next one.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
On the draw for round number 3, I have my whole combo in hand. I'm going to keep it, including the payoff. We are just sprinting for the exit. Opponent's on 6. They've got Yavimaya. Okay, we're playing in some sort of Tron or Eldrazi strategy. Could be Hardened Scales, I guess. Starrings plays that card, or they have historically. Eldrazi confirmed. The race is on. Oh, that's already a forest. Cheating. Okay. Blade of the Blood Chief in play. Investing 1 mana up front means it costs 5 to go off when it's time to do that. All right, they're rumbling. Oh, it's the mirror! But they have Glaring Fleshraker. Interesting. What a twist. All right, they took Blade of the Blood Chief. Actually is the mirror. That's fun. Shifting Woodland. Everything's a forest. I will rumble right there with you. 6 and Utopia Sprawl. Neither of these are helpful. Sprawl is less bad, I guess. Can't cast it this turn, though. This might just come down to play draw. If I can get my Karn down before they equip their sword, that is a potential trump that I have. Oh, wait, no, I have the raw spawn to start. I'm actually way ahead here, but they need to... Oh, they actually win if they have the thing, because they have Fleshraker as their finish button, and I have Karn as mine. If they Broodscale me here, they win. Walking Ballista, okay. Emergency meeting. That might be the bridge they needed. Oh, I had one of those already. Doesn't matter. Okay. Shock and Stomping Ground. I'm going to fetch a forest. I'm going to use Shifting Woodland to Utopia Sprawl my forest. Name Red. This actually seems sick, the Karn, because that turns off Ballista and buys me a turn to do other stuff. Yeah, this Ballista is actually keeping them alive. Or else I had the win. Yeah, I can't rumble into a payoff here. I get a second spawn, but I have to use one of them to cast the Broodscale. Yeah, I think it's just Karn. Hope this functions as intended in the matchup. Freeze out your nonsense. I'm just going to plus. Do I want a 1/1 blocker? Or do I want just Karn chillin'? I think I just want Karn chillin'. Plus on nothing. Try to win next turn. New plan. I do need to find another mana, though, for that to work. If they play a Pithing Needle, that's an answer to this situation. Or at least answers the Karn. They could also name Blade. Springleaf Drum, LOL. Karn, what a unit. Gobi brewing for the Broodscale Mirror. Karn takes 1. Boseiju. Playing it as a land. Probably didn't want to do that. Untap Mana Source? Shit. Does Karn do anything helpful here? Oh, if I rumble and hit an untapped land, I am still comboing. That sounds like the way to go. Rumble, hit basic mountain. That works, right? I play Equip, and I'm preloaded with I'm pre-spawned. Mountain, Broodscale. We gotta see their interaction right now. And it has to cost 1 colorless. They need Dismember, basically. I liked that. That was actually a really fun back and forth game with a lot of interesting stuff going on. They bringing in Haywire Might because they're going to need Blade of the Blood Chief to win. I think that's all I'm doing. +1 Haywire Might, -1 Seed of Hope. Karn is my pre-boarded sauce here. I can't Pithing Needle, Broodscale, or Blade because that's also my deck. Yeah, let's go. There might be an argument for the Whip Flares. We saw Eldrazi Fleshraker. Glaring Fleshraker? I don't think that card's called Eldrazi Fleshraker. It's raking flesh somehow. I just forget who it works for. Okay, kind of the stable hand, which I like. If they're going to try to send the combo, or if I start a stable hand, I'm going to keep this. Turn 1 Saga Might puts the shields up. Delighted Halfling. Wow, their build is sweet. Saga Might. I could have waited on the Saga. I think getting pieces together makes sense. And maybe playing it on turn 2 is better, because then it won't die before I could cast the ring on 4. Oh, Llanowar Reborn. That's the tech. A land with graft. So they can put a +1 counter on this immediately if they want to. Cool. It's fun that we're exploring the space of what could exist in this shell right now. I'm going to pass with Wooded Foothills up. If they go for their combo, I'll fetch a forest and exile their sword. If they don't, I'll get Commercial District and do some selecting. Stirrings. There's Ballista. They could just pick off my Haywire Might here. Another Stirring. Okay. They're setting up for next turn. That's their go time. Boseiju. They don't have green right now to channel Boseiju on Saga. I don't know if they'd even want to do that. They've got Grove of the Burn Willows for walking Ballista. This can kill Haywire Might or Urza Saga. Or no. I'm thinking of Haywire Might. My brain is just mush. They can kill my Haywire Might, which can't kill anything in response. I'm just going to grab a tap land here. There goes the Haywire Might. I boarded in a second. But we know they're holding Boseiju. Commercial District, trigger, a Blade. I'm about to get one of those anyway. No, I'm not. I'm going to get Haywire Might. So I actually do want this Blade. Float. Yeah, I pushed way too hard on this Urza Saga. This isn't even good. I'm going to get another Haywire Might because I kind of have to. If I tap out here, I could just block. But that's not true because they have Boseiju. But if they have the sword, Boseiju kills me anyway. Okay, I'm going to play Fable and just hope they don't have it. I should have waited on that Urza Saga. If I had more stable mana under me right now, I would be just kind of holding ground for the One Ring. Thought I could push, but it was not my board to push onto. Fleshraker, hell yeah. Boseiju and one unknown over there. I haven't died yet, so that's good news. All right. Their hand is Boseiju and an unknown that is almost certainly not sword. I'm going to discard Mountain and the backup One Ring. Or do I want to chain rings together and make that a plan? Or do I want to try to get my combo? I'm just going to discard the Mountain. Sprawl, okay. A forest into my hand, or into play. Boseiju, or Utopia Sprawl onto the forest. They can't Boseiju this. And I'm going to attack with Goblin Shaman. Hopefully they just read this as some sort of combat trick and they don't want to lose their Broodscale. But if they just block, it's fine too, because I'm casting the One Ring. Okay. No fool on them. That's gone. One Ring to rule them all. Draw a card. And suddenly I have the combo presented. They're holding up Boseiju though. Another Halfling. Take one in my upkeep. Oh, I need to either overwhelm or somehow remove this Boseiju or trick them into using it. Those are my options here. Activate the ring. 6, Fable. Not hitting a land here hurts. I'm going to play out my other Fable. And this will eventually kind of threaten the Splinter Twin thing. If they tweak out and Boseiju a Fable, I'm in good shape. If they ever draw the sword, I'm dead though, because they have the whole combo with protection. What they do have is another Fleshraker. This represents a lot of natural damage as I bleed out to my ring. I'm going to have to thread this one. Pithing Needle would be a good card to have access to right now, but that's in my sideboard. And no attack, because if I double block and they lose their Broodscale, then they don't have top deck GG button anymore. And discard 2 cards. There is at least one fetchable left in the deck. What am I looking for here? I mean, 6 is really good. I should have activated the One Ring before it came to this. I'm just busy narrating instead of playing tight. Streamer brain. 6 does let me refire next turn. I'm actually going to keep all my cards. Should have ringed first, though. Rung? Should have rung? Ranged? There should be a basic forest left in my deck. I will go get that. There's 2 basic forests left. Look at me. It's going nuts. Broodscale. Blade. The blade is the Boseiju target that they've been waiting for. I'm going to try to manipulate this game to a spot where the Boseiju is gone and I can still pop off. And I'm still just fading draw steps here. Another Broodscale. So this is a bunch of damage, because they can activate Broodscale and do another 2 to me here after all of this. So I'm actually just dead if I don't Haywire Might something. Adapt 1. This will put me to 1. So I'm going to have to exile my own ring. Or no, I'm at 3. I have no idea how 2 Glaring Fleshrakers work. When you cast a spell, they deal 2 damage per. When you put a creature to play, they deal 2 damage total. That's how it works. All right, I'm going to dock Jeggy over here. It's in the way. Starting to take up space. Oh, God. All right, I'm just going to remove that from my field of vision. Combat's happening. Should I block first or copy Haywire Might first? I think I need to block first. Go to blocks. Block with Might, Goblin, and Reflection. Is this how I want to do this? Do I block with Broodscale? If I block with Broodscale, like right now... Oh, I can do both. Okay. I will still lose to my ring, though. Uh-oh. Hold on. If Haywire Might dies, I'm at 2 after my ring trigger. And I don't need to exile anything. And it doesn't matter how it dies, so Boseiju doesn't stop that. Broodscale block activate. Kills their Fleshraker, leaves the thing in play. All their Fleshrakers are gone. Okay. I'm actually just going to block like this and make the 1/1. Hope I didn't miscount somehow. None of these have trample, I hope. Oh, do they have dismember? Does that matter? Oh, no. Okay. That doesn't matter. I mean, it takes my Broodscale, but I have another one. This does matter in terms of if they have another colorless spell, but now their hand is Boseiju, and I know that. Okay. No, this is okay. I gain 2. And as long as they can't put a 1/1 into play, I've got a plan. Okay, I'm at 2. Fable flips. I can draw 4 cards here. I have Broodscale, equip, activate. I don't have a second Bloodchief Sword. I could just chain rings together. Be a punk. That's probably the plan. Okay, activate the ring. There's a Saga. If I get that poppin', that's another blade that's on its way out. Boring, but necessary. Horrible play pattern that I'm happy to take advantage of in this moment. Okay, add a bonus Broodscale to play. And I guess I'm just going to pass the turn and discard Stomping Ground. Or is Rumble worse? But I can Rumble for more blades. I'm going to discard a Stomping Ground and a Rumble. Okay, I'm still dead if they find a blade. I have a turn to breathe if they don't. I'm not going to draw a card with this One Ring. It's just here to chill. Second blade. A good chance that wins the game. Woodland. Equip this blade. They probably have to Boseiju now, and I do still have a... Okay, they did not Boseiju now. If I Rumble, they have to Boseiju in response. Rumble actually checkmates them, I think. Rumble. They need 2 pieces of interaction in their hand here. Because they have to Boseiju the blade now, and then I can make the spawn in response, and if they don't, I just have a spawn. Okay. I will, in response, make a spawn. Cool, wow. Their build is very cool, but mine has the One Ring and Karn in it. Going a little over the top in a mirror match where they're a little more low to the ground. They have a better plan if they're not comboing than me, it seems, the Fleshrakers. That was a tight one. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables.
I'm on the play in round 4. My hand sees a bunch of cards and ramps a little. I'll take it. Playing against Eldrazi, we've got a Devourer of Destiny revealed. I wish I was a Blood Moon deck right now, and not just pretending to be one, not just playing one on TV. I'm just going to name green with this. I have a red source, and I don't need that many. Deck's mostly green. Exiled Waste and Watery Grave. Oh my god, what's going on over there? I don't know this build of Eldrazi. I assume Aspiring Spike is responsible for whatever's going on here with a Watery Grave. And then dumping the Waste means they're not respecting Blood Moon at all, which is a shame that I can't punish it. A Rumble. I'll take Broodscale. Shock and Stomping Ground. A Rumble. Or is it better to Rumble again or Blade? I'm going to invest the Blade. If they have Thought-Knot Seer, like, this is just the win on board. This puts them on you have to have Thought-Knot Seer or Dismember or lose. They are putting 4 mana in the pool. Glaring Fleshraker. Let's see where this goes. It went nowhere. Cool. So they are just dead. Saga. Broodscale. Equip. With the investment token ahead of time. Boop. Looks like we are gold fishing here, kids. Set my stops. Always yield. Always yes. Click, 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 click. I even beat Force of Negation because I have 2 cards. Have you seen enough? I'm just going to grab Walking Ballista and show them the whole combo and hope that they stop. They don't make me do this. It's all here. Okay, cool. That was just a clean little turn 3 goldfish. I'll take it. Yeah, Eldrazi with Watery Grave. I don't know what this means. Do I just bring in a Haywire Might and cut a Seed of Hope in the blind? We saw Glaring Fleshraker. That is a card that dies to Whip Flare. I don't know. I'm just going to send it again. I didn't see enough about their deck to know. If you know what the Watery Grave Eldrazi deck is, then you probably know their whole 75 right now, but I don't know, so I'm actively confused. Brewer's Advantage. I have my whole combo with ramp again. Let's go. Keep. A Devourer of Destiny trigger Exiled Kozilek's Return and Matter Reshaper. And Blood Crypt. This is a Grixis Eldrazi deck of some kind. I wonder if it's playing the Eldrazi Cyclonic Rift. Is that what the blue is for? I think I was supposed to fetch, because that's just one less forest I could draw. I was busy wondering why they're a Grixis deck. Ugin's Lab. We know there's a Devourer to exile, but they didn't. Was that a misclick, or are they just happy with what they have? Oh, that's funny. Does that just beat Utopia Sprawl? No, it doesn't. Okay, because the Utopia Sprawl is making the mana, not the land. Cool. How do I want to do this? I can't play Blade and Broodscale this turn. I can play Rumble and Blade. I can play Commercial District and Broodscale. Okay, I'm going to play Commercial District. I don't want this basic mountain, and I'll invest the Broodscale. They have shown me removal spells in their deck. Maybe this was wrong. I don't know, it's just very weird and interesting that Eldrazi would have a Damping Sphere in it. Okay, they tapped out. Where's the Saga? Are you dead? You look dead to me. Activate. Infinite Mana does not care about Damping Sphere. And off we go. A Damping Sphere does not interact in any way with what's happening. Okay, let's see if they do play Force of Negation, because that would stop me here. Here's Karn. I'm going to get the Walking Ballista. We're just going to get a pair of turn 3 goldfishes. Could they have Subtlety? Is there any world where they play enough blue cards? Okay. Weird build, weird games, but that was a pair of turn 3 goldfishes onto the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're having fun, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to play what I'm playing, you can order it all in one package from cardtrader.com. Use code BoshNRoll for 5% off your first order. I'm on the draw for the final round. Positive records locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. I am going to keep my hand that ramps and looks for cards. Turn 2 6 plus Urza Saga puts a lot of pieces in place. No companion from the opponent, they're on 7 cards. Okay, Jwari Disruption tapped and Lotus Bloom exiled. We're playing against Belcher. This is a deck with a lot of counter magic. It's slightly concerning. This deck, I don't think this deck can beat Karn, which is something I can aspire to. And they could bounce it with the bounce thing. What is the bounce thing? Saw Perfect Springs on the front. Thundertrap Trainer. This represents Flare of Denial, which confirmed Flare of Denial. It's here. It's around. Urza Saga 6. Playing 6. I'd kind of love if they flare this because that clears the runway for Karn. Nice. Okay. Trigger happy on the flare. If they have Force of Negation, that might not matter. But they did just put down their shields when I can ramp into Karn the turn before Lotus Bloom comes down. Fingers are crossed. Hydroelectric Lab shocked it in. They're showing Hardcast Force right now. That's bad. Well, I mean, this is still the best thing I can do by a lot. Commandeer. Oh my god. All right, well. Now you have a Karn. Is there a Belcher in your sideboard? Okay, I was ready for a hard cast. Whatever. Okay, so they need a mana and a Belcher with one card in their hand, but now they have access to their sideboard, and my combo doesn't work. Or no, I have to equip. Yeah, my combo doesn't work. Tameshi and Disrupting Shoal are in here. Okay, Tameshi's an interesting take. Is this not Belcher? Is this something else? I mean, Tameshi combo is also a deck. Tameshi Belcher, is that a thing? Are they off? Okay, Tameshi plus Lotus Bloom. Replay this land that was a spell briefly. So they can bloom a lot. The Karn is getting Portable Hole. Interesting, okay. I guess they know they're going to have to beat an Urza Saga token here. I am going to make it. I need a plan to win now. I guess I just tutor Haywire Might because nothing else is going to work. And a little bit land flooded here, tap land flooded. I'm going to go for a Rumble. Rumble found Shifting Woodlands and Wooded Foothills. Guess I'll take the Shifting Woodland. Don't really like any of that. Okay, go. Blocked under my own card, and that Commandeer was so sick. Sick play. I'm working my way up to Jeggy if I don't die first. They have Bloom plus Tameshi, so like anything they could get going here is probably going to win. Tormod Script. And their deck's not built to have a Karn board, but they do just have some artifacts in here. That's cool. And they can pick up these lands and turn them back into spells. Tameshi picking up a land, turning it back into a spell. They're picking up all their lands to Lotus Bloom a bunch. They're going for something here. 10 mana in the pool, 13 available total. Oh, they're going to Whir of Invention. Okay, cool. Yeah, that Commandeer was nasty. I was ready for Karn to get countered, but not ready to have to beat Karn myself. I'm just going to look at their deck real quick. Okay, all these cards are revealed. Mono blue stuff, Sink into Stupor, Dwyer Disruption, Tameshi, Disrupting Shoal, Phlogy Archaeologist, Flare of Denial, Thundertrap Trainer, all these things that I expect. Pact of Negation, that's aggressive. A bunch of those. Do we have Force of Negations? Probably not, because they don't protect on your own turn. Okay. Well, now that I know my card can get stolen, that's spooky. Okay, Pithing Needle on Goblin Charbelcher is very powerful. And I do think it's better to be in the Saga package than in the Karn package, because if Karn's in play, I've already won. I can bring in one of the Graveyard Hate pieces. I think the Haywire Might should be here, probably in full numbers. And as usual, Seed of Hope. Never cast this league. Didn't need it. Cash grab. I think those are my cuts. Okay, let's try this. We know what we got to do, but this matchup seems kind of scary, actually. I like it. Keep. Just got to send it. Utopia Sprawl, name red. Do I need red? Yeah, I'll take some red. Seagate Reborn tapped. Colorless. I think I'd like to try to cast 6. Because they could double spell starting next turn. All right, Disrupting Troll, pitching Flare of Denial. That was a 2-for-1. And I'm more interested in Pithing Needle and Ruwala than I am in 6. There's the Trainer. They got a Suppression Ray. That's just a land. And they found a Lotus Bloom this turn. There's a Blade. Okay. I am going to lead on Pithing Needle because that is the one where I think they're more scared of this. I'm going to name Goblin Charbelcher with that. And then I'll play Basking Broodscale and see if I threaded the needle here. Okay, Broodscale's in. Missing that land drop hurts. No access to Karn. But I do have uncounterable access to infinite mana next turn. There's the Ray. Another trainer. There's a Belcher in hand. We know that doesn't work. Okay. Tutor the sword, and then try to pop. Blade. Equip Blade. With double Karn here, they need double counterspell, or they need some free way to remove the Broodscale. This thing is also ready to attack because it's been in play already. They'll have to block it if everything else fails. Off we go. Let's take turns belching each other. There's a cool thing here that hasn't come up yet in the league, but I am about to go for it, which is if you have 2 swords, you get more mana, which doesn't matter. Like, infinite times 2 is still infinite, but you can put one of these swords on a different creature and have 2 infinitely large creatures, which I'm going to do here. You can actually have any number of infinitely large creatures, I think. Or maybe you can have 3 infinitely. There's probably some number where it stops, but we're not there yet. And I actually do want to float tons of mana first, because if they commandeer my Karn, I want to have enough mana to play the other one. Or no, the things are equipped, so that doesn't matter anymore. We're past where that is a interaction point. Okay. Irrelevant. Karn stops my Ballista from busting. Okay. All right, Karn just resolved without a problem. I'll get Walking Ballista. Just show you what's going on. Cool. All right. Took turns running down the runway and leaping into this guy on that one. Don't think anything's changing here. They saw Pithing Needle that game. They're aware that my deck does that now. Yeah, same shit. Let's go. This one's kind of slow, but the pieces are here. Getting the Saga ticking to get Pithing Needle is a big deal. I am going to keep this, and I am going to play Saga on turn 1. Opponent's also on 7. Tap land. Is there a Bloom? No Bloom. Okay. Saga. Blade. It's a nice little curve. I could even use my Rumble token to make a construct if I feel like I need to be on beatdowns. Trainer. Found a Seagate. Just hitting land drops over there. Oh. You don't say. Here's this guy. I could just put them in check, or I could ramp a little bit. I'm going to do the ramp. This would be a funny thing to commandeer. 6 Haywire Might Broodscale. I think having a second Broodscale, just keep that party going. This deck could play Harbinger of the Seas, which would kill my Urza Saga. Only slightly slow down my combo, though. Flagi Archaeologist. They hit nothing. That's just a mill 3, so they'll end up with a 1/4 creature. Oh, wait, it's non-creature. Oh, non-creature non-land. Okay, so they got a Lotus Bloom back. My bad. I thought it was instant or sorcery. Fair enough. There is a Bloom in the Bloom. Didn't attack. Not interested in a chip shot. That's fair. I did the same thing earlier in my combo deck. They float a mana, get Pithing Needle, name Goblin Charbelcher. Just check that box off. Play Broodscale. They have to flare this one. Commandeer and the other stuff doesn't work on it. Okay. I'm just going to play Verdant Catacombs and pass for the Surveil land. Hydroelectric Lab. They can hardcast Flare of Denial now. Cancel has been unlocked. I'm getting canceled. Not if they're casting creatures, though. We hit Whir or Seagate. Took back Seagate. Okay, still interested in land drops more than tutoring. I like that for me. Commercial District, show me a Karn. Verdant Catacombs to the bin. 6. Broodscale is on the stack. Fetch. Equip. I can make an infinitely large thing here, but it doesn't matter yet. Lotus Bloom's a turn away. I don't need to worry about Tameshi just yet. And this is the part of the combo they can't counter with the soft counters or conditional counters. Yeah, all I can do is get Gigantha. And I'm just going to make this like really big. In case they can answer the blade in response to the next thing, I want to at least have a lethal attacker they have to respect. I don't know if that matters. I might just be wasting time. But I got time to waste. There's 18 minutes on my clock. We're in a turbo combo mirror. Okay, it has 20 power now. I can pass the turn. Oh, if I had used the spawn to equip it. Oh no, because the thing's not on it yet. No, that wouldn't work. I needed that sacrifice. I was thinking, could I have had access to red or green mana to get one extra spell down? And I think the answer is no. Here's a trainer. I'm trying to fade the bounce spell. Sink into Stupor. Shit. That is exactly the spell I didn't want to see. Or like stink into stupid, right? Am I right? Am I right, gamers? Utopia Sprawl doesn't really help. Cash Grab is the thing that could dig me a new spot here. Like find something else to do. Okay, I'm gonna grab some cash. I do not control a squirrel, and I never will. There's Karn. Okay, grab that. And what's the best sequence for this? I'm going to play Stomping Ground. I'm going to put Utopia Sprawl onto the forest. This mostly doesn't matter. Just having the time of my life out here. Okay, sack this for mana. They now know I have Karn, and if I get infinite mana, they're dead, because them bouncing Karn back to my hand doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to play that Stomping Ground, because I have 6. If they counter Karn in a way that puts it into the graveyard, I actually needed that land. And it doesn't matter because I have infinite mana. Yeah, that was actually just a huge spew. Just filling my pool with mana here. 9? Is 9 enough mana? Where do I need to stop? 10? I'm going to cast Karn and hope Sink into Stupor is all they got here. Wow, we're in. Okay. I'm going to immediately wish for Ballista. I'm wondering what's left to be worried about here. So I can reset my combo with my floating colorless if they bounce the Broodscale in response to one of the triggers. Okay. Nope. Change your mind. I think the right time to Sink into Stupor was when I sacked the first spawn this turn before the combo was really off. Now I have gajillions in the pool. If they have 2 layers of counterspell, like if they can bounce this, then counter it on the way back down and trick me into committing Karn. But tricking me into committing Karn's not a real thing because Lotus Bloom and Belcher don't work with Karn in play. Yeah, I don't know. This feels okay. I'm trying to imagine what sequence, like given the way they've played, what sequence is left that I need to be concerned about. Bouncing my Broodscale. I can replay that. That happens. And then green mana in the pool. Broodscale. They would have to counter this now. Okay. Re-equip. Okay, cool. We did it. Well, that was quite a showing. A 4-1 record where I miscounted and probably spewed off the match that I lost. This deck is really powerful, really resilient. The Karn and One Ring kind of Ponza ramp aspect of the deck is really powerful. It definitely cracked open that mirror match we played. Having Karn in general in Legacy or Modern, what are we doing? In Modern right now is great because the One Ring is just everywhere. Slightly more than 50% of decks will have a giant artifact that you can turn off with Karn. I'm impressed. This was really cool. We didn't play against anyone who just had like Fatal Push and Counterspell in their deck. So maybe those matchups are tougher, but not every deck has those cards. And if you're not packing that specific type of interaction, then this does come together quickly and it punishes hard. Gobi, thanks for sharing this with us. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. Order some cards from cardtrader.com. Use code BoshNRoll at checkout. And I'll see you next time.